welcome to Consulting Conversations with Kris and Katie. I am Katie, founder of Elevate Online. I am joined by Kris, founder of Evergreen Leadership, and together we created Leap. And at Leap, we help others start and grow their independent consulting and freelancing businesses. Today, we are together to talk about the second point in our new series, 5 Rookie Mistakes that New Consultants Make. And so the mistake that we're diving into today is thinking that it will always be this hard. So Kris, what do we mean by this? And then also, why is this a pitfall that people can fall into?
Yeah, this is comes after the first rookie mistake, which was thinking your first year is going to be really easy. And for those of you that are not making that first mistake, you're prone to this mistake where you're doing the work, you're putting in place everything you need, you're out there networking, you're trying to find your first client. And oftentimes that first client is hard to come by, right? It might take a while. It might take 3 months or 6 months. For some people, it might take a year or sometimes longer. We hope not if you're doing things well. But it's easy to get discouraged because as you're building all that infrastructure, guess what? You're not getting paid. As you're building your business, you're not getting paid. As you're spending 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hours in your office a day, putting together things, networking with people, talking to potential clients, some of those will get realized and some of them won't. And so it's a bit of a slog in the first year. You're figuring out a lot of things. That first couple clients is really hard to get. But here's the deal, is once you get the ball rolling, once you get those things in place, once you figure out who your ideal client is, once you figure out what your marketing strategy is and your marketing systems, things start to get some momentum. So it's like you're pushing up this big snowball up the hill. And sometimes that takes a lot of work and sometimes it takes longer. So it's really easy to step back and say, I've spent 100 hours this month and only gotten a minimal amount of income, if any. It's really hard to get the first client, be easier to get the second and third. So that idea of looking at that time as an investment and not getting so discouraged. Because Katie, we've both seen people that get discouraged and overwhelmed by the work that it takes just to get off to a good start. But what are some of the indicators you're following into this trap of feeling like this is never going to end? Like I'm never going to make it.
Yeah, I'd say if you start to get into that headspace where you are ready to give up, you are feeling burnt out, and when you're maybe even starting to consider getting a paid job, like, man, it'd be easier to just go and get a job than it would be
to start to look on Indeed and you're like,
keep browsing. That's a sign that you're in this headspace of thinking it's always going to be this hard. And so I think we, can talk about some solutions for that, which would be if you are feeling like that, keep in mind, as Kris said, that, the first client engagement will be, take a certain amount of time, but then getting to that second and third, it'll start to, chop down. You'll start to get your systems in place where it'll just feel like it's happening a little bit more naturally and it's a little less forced. And so I think knowing that you have the ability, to, learn quickly, evaluate as you go, and continue to get your business where you want it to be is like one way that you can start to overcome this. I think another is to just celebrate the wins that you have and take a step back and realize I have built out so much of this business. Look at how far I've come. I have started to work with 1 client, 2 clients, 3, and just acknowledging those wins can also help.
Absolutely.
And then, last, but certainly not least, we have recently built out the Prosper Consulting community at Leap, where we have brought consultants and freelancers together to support one another and then to also get coaching and, the business knowledge that they need to create the businesses that they desire. So I'd say another thing is, if you feel like I can't keep doing this alone, know that you don't have to do it alone. There can be a community out there that can support you. And whether that's the Prosper community or whether that's you finding other people who are independents to support you, either way can work for you, but know that you don't have to go through this alone. And so if there are any other consulting resources we can help you with, we have some options for you at Leap here.